What's up, superstars? On today's video, we're actually going to be pressing on some industrial workwear. We're going to be working with Red Kap. This is their SP24 model that we're going to be pressing on. It's one of the few industrial workwear blanks that we're able to get from our suppliers. This one in particular, we got from Sanmar, so I'll have a link below as well. So let's go and take a look at the garment that we're going to be working with. All right, guys. So they actually sent us a couple of these samples to press with. This is the job that I'm actually working with, but this is a sample. This is particularly a charcoal that they have. They actually have several different colors available. This is their charcoal, and this is going to be their light blue that we're going to be working with. This is a 4.25 ounce poly cotton blend, so it's 65% polyester, 35% cotton. It's got a wicking material. It's also got a stain resistant. This is something that you're commonly able to see with industrial workers like glass people, even oil mechanics, anybody that's going to be working in the garage. You've probably seen this type of material because it does have a stain release to it. It's got 6 buttons, and it's got a button on the top that can pop up. And then you've got 2 front pockets here as well. The front pocket actually has a little sleeve here for you to stick in your pen. So I'm gonna show you guys that. It is actually sewn this way. The only thing that I didn't really like about this is actually their finish. It looks like Red Kap didn't do an excellent job at cleaning up the threads here. I see it consistent all the way through the garment. So if you're a decorator, I definitely advise you to clean this up before you send it to your customers so that they're gonna be happy with your final results. Now, lastly, it does come with 8 different colors. So you've got your black, you've got your charcoal, your gray, your light blue, your light gray, light tan, navy, and lastly, it's got a different petrol blue that you can get. So that is the colors that's available. As far as sizing, it comes from size small all the way to 6XL. It comes with a very big range for your big boys. Now, we're actually going to be working with 2 different sizes here, so I want to save 2 samples for this video. We're going to be working with the size medium, so we actually size a graphic particularly for the small all the way to the 2Xs, and then we're going to be doing a 3X where we went up 2 inches. So I'm going to show you that as well because we do want to compensate for that larger size. So we did increase that graphic for the back. And as far as the front placement, we're going to be doing a front pocket transfer. The pocket seems a little bit low. We actually had a suggestion to put the design right here, but after measuring it, it seems a little bit low. So that wasn't a good option. I did look at the manufacturer images, and it looks like they do press right at the top of the pocket there. So we're going to stick with that. We're going to be putting the design right here. So now let's go and get to the heat pressing. All right, let's go and take a look at the heat transfers that we created. So here are the designs that we got from the customer. This is going to be the front logo. So we're going to be putting this centered about a ½ inch above the pocket. And then we took the exact logo there. We went ahead and scooted the design right here. This makes it look a lot better. They originally got this screen printed, and if you're gonna screen print this is an extra 3 screens just to do this design. So that's why they didn't do that. But the benefit of using transfers, you can add color to it. There are no limitations. So that we're gonna enhance their graphic for this year. Now, as far as the back design, as I mentioned, we're gonna be doing a smaller design for the small, mediums, all the way to 2Xs, and then we've got a bigger design for the 3Xs right here. So right here, we went with right about 11 inches and a quarter, and then right here, we are gonna go almost about 13 inches in width. So just about 2 inches to compensate for the larger size. So the tools that we're going to be using for this job is going to be our 16x20 Prisma heat press. If you guys haven't seen our video on that, make sure you guys take a look at that. It's a very good heat press. As far as the tools that I'm going to be using for this, we're actually going to be using a heat press pillow because this workwear has pillow or buttons. We don't want to damage the buttons, so we're going to be using heat press pillows to keep that button secure. One thing that we're going to be using new is going to be this new heat press pad that we just got from Essential Wear. We are testing this out to see if we want to release this on our website. But as you guys can see, it is thicker. It's also supposed to be a 5 mil, so this is thicker overall, and it's supposed to be very durable, made in the USA. So we're going to be giving this a try. We've been using this for years. This is one that we got from Amazon, just a little bit thinner that you guys can see, but this has also been lasting me for a very long time. So we're going to use this for this project. Now, before we get started, you want to make sure you dial down your heat press pressure. If you're going to be using a pillow or anything that's going to be making this thicker, chances are you're not going to be able to clamp your heat press down. So this does not clamp. What we're going to do is we're going to be releasing this to make this a lot less tight, and you're just wanting to make sure that it closes, but you also want to make sure that it has a lot of pressure. So this is still very, very tight. It shows up as a 9 on the pressure scale, and I was able to close it much thinner, so you know that it's got a lot of pressure holding it down. It was still very difficult. So that's what you want. You want to make sure that it is very, very difficult to pull up, because that ensures that you've got really good pressure onto your transfer. And of course, that means that you're gonna have a longer lasting transfer. So let's go ahead and load up our shirt. I'm gonna do the medium first. So with this heat press, I can easily thread it. Now, one thing I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna slip in that pillow and then I'm gonna thread it. All right, let's just go ahead and push this pillow down. I wanna make sure that I've got enough room, and I'm going to use this transfer here. So this is going to be the upside position, just to make sure. I'm gonna do a quick little crease, and I'm just gonna follow that button to make sure it's there. Great, so that's centered. I'm gonna go ahead and use our heat resistant tape. Now that everything is taped in place, I can move this around and be more comfortable with it and not have to worry. Normally, if I didn't have the heat press pillow, I would probably take out all the buttons, kind of focus on this, but because I've got that heat press pillow there, it's gonna help absorb the impact to the buttons and it's not gonna break the button. Now that everything is nice and flat and straight, we're just gonna go ahead and press. Oh, see that? It took a whole lot of effort to move down. Okay, perfect. As the front is cooling down, I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this around. Okay, now let's go ahead and adjust to make sure that it is straight. It's got side seams on both sides, so that makes it easy for me to line up. If you look at these seams, they seem pretty even. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my transfer. Double check that I have the smaller of the two. I'm gonna fold this in half from pixel to pixel. That gives me the midpoint. And then we are going to be doing 2 inches down from that back seam right there. So let's go ahead and grab our ruler. All right, so we're gonna do 2 inches, and I'm gonna make sure I use my fingers to adjust. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to 2 inches where the text starts. Then that's about centered for me. Let's double check. Okay, so now let's go ahead and press this design. You want to make sure that the pillow and everything clears. Okay, while this is cooling down, let's flip this around. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and peel. We're gonna take off the tape. Gonna use the same film, flip it back around. We're gonna go for that second press. There you go. Let's flip this around. Still wanna keep the pillow within the middle because you do have buttons. You don't wanna crack the buttons. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab the corner. We're gonna peel, flip this around. There you go. This is the medium shirt with the front pocket design. Now let's go ahead and do the 3XL. Now when you're dealing with bigger shirts, it is a little trickier to align, but just spend your time to get it nice and straight. There is a side seam that runs down the shirt, so you're just feeling for that to make sure it's nice and even. In this particular case, it's a little bit easier because I'm just doing a pocket. So I'm just going to focus on this pocket, and I'm just going to focus on the middle of that button. So quick fold right here to get that midpoint. I'm going to bring it back here. Okay, I'm going to try to get that collar out of there. So right there, midpoint. And just to be on the safe side, because it's a smaller transfer, having some heat resistant tape will save this shirt. So you don't want to mess with a shirt like this where it's going to be pretty costly for you to replace. I'm not sure how many shirts you're gonna have to press in order to make up for one of these shirts, but use tape just to be careful. Align, let's hit it. There you go. Gonna flip it around. Now this is the one that's critical to make sure that it's aligned. It's a 3XL, so it's a pretty long reach. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and push the pillow up so that this aligns right to the top. I'm going to double check positioning it once more. Let's go ahead and give it a quick fold to get that midpoint. 2 inches down from the top of the graphic, right there. Let's go ahead and adjust to make sure that this is centered. Okay, now that's pretty straight for me. Let's go ahead and press. Flip this back around. Let's go ahead and rethread. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab the corner. We're gonna peel, take out the tape, flip it back around. I'm gonna try to center this right in the middle. Make sure it's lots of pressure. Let's go ahead and finish off with the back. Same thing, grab the corner, push it back in. Let's go ahead and take a look at both designs. So this is, again, guys, the 3XL that we did. We went a little bit bigger on the back print, which I think really compensates and does a really good job. There's a lot of places or decorators that have done this with embroidery, screen printing. But yes, guys, it does work with DTF transfers, even with the wickening and the stain resistant material. It does hold up, it does work well. And this is how it looks. You guys can capture full color prints like this. So if you guys need any transfer needs, make sure you guys look us up, transfersuperstars.com. We'll have a link below. Take a look at us. If you guys don't have any artwork ready, we do have sample packs available. It's super easy to use your transfers. Give us a shot today. My name's Phil. You guys have any other questions, let me know. I'll catch you guys on the next video.